Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Showcase Sunday. And we're here today with Mike Mountfield. Some of you might already know Mike, but he's here today with Visionary Vouchers Limited. So, Mike, great to have you on our Showcase Sunday. Welcome. And would you like to introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you do, and why you do it?
Yeah, hi Alison. So my name's Mike Mountfield. It's correct, some of you may already know me. I've spent quite a bit of time in the lakes. Arrived in 2004 when I first met Alison to work at Kendal College and did the work with the hospitality department. Moved from Kendal College. I am a chef by trade, and that's my passion as well. Moved back to my hometown to work in Liverpool. Created what is now known as the L20 Hotel School, which gets lots of press coverage for the work it's doing with the industry. It's a really exciting education model. And then after a few more years in education, decided to work for myself. Very passionate about the industry, using all my contacts that I gained through working in education, and I identified some gaps, and as well as supporting education. So for the last few years, I've been at the fortunate position to work with a company in China, which allowed us to set up an amazing restaurant in Liverpool. In fact, it was Visit England's best restaurant. And at the same time, still work in education, where I've been sourcing funding for a business. And now back in the lakes, working on a few projects, this being one of them. And that's what hopefully I wanted to share with you today with Alison's assistance.
Brilliant. And Visionary Vouchers, do you want to introduce that and just explain what is it? What's it all about?
Yeah, so Visionary Vouchers has been around in a sort of an embryonic state for about 8 or 9 months now, and some of people may know a gentleman called Gordon Cartwright. You may have experienced him as an A inspector, so you may have a mixed view of Gordon's work as an inspector. But it's fair to say, when it comes to his knowledge of the industry, his experience of the industry, it's vast. And Gordon, as a GM, was sick and tired of paying extortionate fees for a range of services that were coming into his hotels and the venues he was looking after. And one in particular was the voucher systems that were available out there, and the hidden costs predominantly around voucher systems. So he's worked with a few businesses, created this online voucher system, which basically plugs into your website and allows your guests to book vouchers at face value and give you the cash. When he shared this idea with me, I just thought it was amazing because of my own experience of the restaurants and the voucher systems we created. And he seems to have ironed out all the issues that guests have with vouchers and venues have with vouchers. So we've spent the last few months working with another colleague called Mark House, who is an IT wizard. And the three of us have been working to get this product ready to market. Obviously came to see you, Alison, and we're here today to hopefully share the idea and the concept to this embryonic business to get it out there for venues to get access to this voucher system.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I love that. I love out of frustration comes passion
Yeah.
and exciting opportunities. So there are, as you know, there are a vast amount of voucher systems and voucher businesses out there that's supporting the hospitality industry. So what is unique and different? What is your USP as opposed to your competition?
So there's a couple of USPs that I think when we've been sat around the table and sort of building the business, voucher systems are not our unique selling point. Voucher systems have been around for a long time. But what we've in our research, we've spoken to some organisations and seen some methods of implementing vouchers. And you can get a voucher system plugged into your website for 35, 40 quid a month. But then there's 2, 3, 4, 5% commission on that voucher purchase. So you're not getting 100% of the value you're paying an add-on. And we've seen businesses doing 20, 30 grand a month on vouchers, especially at peak seasons, and in some cases a lot more. We're also seeing voucher systems where the guest is purchasing the voucher, say for £100, but the venue's getting 95 or £90. So there's there's a piece there at source. And we've also come across some people telling us that their guests buy a voucher and the money's held with the voucher organisation until
Yeah.
the voucher's redeemed. Now, we all know that people buy vouchers and pass them on to friends who probably never redeem them. So there's an element of money sat in a business that could be your money. So we've got to a phase where the monthly subscription is £75, and that is it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to pay. Um, and it's a rolling contract in this early stage of the business. So we're not asking you to tie up for 12 months, 18 months. It's literally a month at a time. Because we're learning as we grow, and we want to make sure that as we learn and as we grow and as we amend, that the businesses benefit from that as well. But one of the big USPs, and the one that I'm particularly passionate, well, all three of us are passionate about, is we're in the process of setting up a foundation to support the industry. And a percentage of the monthly revenue from every venue will be given to that foundation. Now,
Mhm.
the foundation is currently sat with the Charities Commission. In the next few weeks, we're hoping that we would get approval on the terms of our foundation. But the idea is we all know the issues with staff retention,
Mhm.
and we all know the issues with staff training, the other side of college. Um, the colleges do great work when people get into the industry. Employers, owners, operators, directors have got a passion to industry, but there's always seems to so a passion for training, but there always seems to be a barrier to that training, whether it's time or money. So what we'd like to do with the funds that are in the foundation is offer training to support retention. So it may be communication skills, it may be basic HR skills. We all know that amazing receptionist that becomes head receptionist but doesn't have the skills to manage the team or communicate to the team to get the best out of the team. And we want to support that element of the training. Now, it won't be us doing the training. We would reach out to people like yourselves, colleges, locally, nationally, experts in that field. We don't want it to be the mental health thing all the time. We want it to be knowledge, skills, and behaviors that help to retain staff. And the money from the foundation will hopefully fully fund that or part fund that for businesses. So anyone accessing the voucher scheme will also have the opportunity to tap into that funding a few months down the line when the foundation has got the money to start pushing that along. So that is for me personally in this business the USP, and that's the bit that when we started talking about it, really pricked my ears, thinking we're providing a great service to the industry, and the industry is not only getting hopefully a great voucher service, but in the background they've got access to this amazing training.
Brilliant. And will that help them with the corporate social responsibility as well, or not?
100%. I think it's a big tick because from my experience of being an owner and operator, we used to get asked all the time to support charities, and one of the things we would put £1 on our dessert that gave us the biggest GP. We'd give £1 to the local charity, and that was good, and people recognised it, and it was a good conversation piece also for the servers when they're talking to guests and upselling. Yeah, so that's and CSR is important, and we feel that gives them an opportunity to say that they're linked to this foundation that gives staff, and if we can prove in the long term that it aids retention for one or two businesses, amazing.
Brilliant. I love that. It's amazing. And it's quite interesting that I always ask this next question because we as an industry we've been having a really tough time and I see that quite regularly out there. So what do you do that will help and be relevant right now and in the future for the hospitality industry? A lot of that is now and in the future, well, more in the future. But what would you say would be the thing that you're doing now and in the future to help the hospitality industry?
I think it goes back to the sort of previous question about the USP. I think that now
Yeah.
it's hopefully to people would look at the cost of their voucher system, assuming they've got a voucher system. This may be an opportunity to bring a voucher system in We have seen with the customers that we're working with now, because we've done some sampling with that they're seeing an advantage to their cash flow. They're seeing cash coming in. We know cash is king, and we know cash flow keeps a business alive. So they're seeing that cash flow come in. And so the now is reflect on your voucher system, look at it as a way of generating, and then the long term goes back to the foundation and the task of the foundation, because we'd like to think that that foundation gets to a level that it's giving opportunities for training companies and colleges to engage with industry. There's a big push through further education at the moment to get those relationships with industry, and good relationships, safe
Yeah.
relationships. And there may be one or two training providers out there that are small independents who are experts in a field that gives them business as a result of this initiative. So that's how I see the sort of the now and the long term. And it would be great to be able to say that business we're not going to solve recruitment, but we'd like to think we can contribute to retention.
Brilliant. And it actually matches one of my visions of having hospitality as the leading career choice in the UK, which is why it was a no-brainer to have you showcasing on Showcase Sunday, because we have an amazing industry with passionate people in it that delivers so much that actually keeps an ecosystem around the country for the economy.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to actually, when you go down to the crux of it, and I talk regularly about this, when you hear stories that, oh, the hospitality industry is going under and it's really in a bad state. We were around since 17,000 BC. That's 1700 BC, sorry, which is incredible. And that was first known in French caves. So when you look at hospitality, it's not going anywhere. In fact, it's going to a new peak in 2028. So we're,
Yeah.
we're only going further higher. And I think what you're doing is incredible to keep that ecosystem going, and actually making sure that we attract people and retain people in our industry, that is going to only get better and better as the years come through.
Yeah, I think just to add to that and going back
Mm.
to the foundation, this is not the only source of income we aspire to get for the foundation. So some businesses listening to this could in essence join the voucher scheme, and I'm not talking now or probably early next year, further down the line. They could join the voucher scheme at £75 a month and have some of their high level training done and become cost neutral
Yeah,
on with
very quickly.
the benefits of the foundation and recover their £75 a month um, with through training. So there is an opportunity to balance the outcome, the outgoings with the benefits to the business with the training. If we can get one person to communicate better to another that stops them leaving, amazing.
Yeah, how many thousands is that just saved very,
Yeah,
very quickly?
yeah,
So it's not just cost neutral, or actually in profit.
yeah, yeah. If you look at it, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah,
That's how I look at it. I just think that's a quick profit change. That
yeah,
it is really, it's a clever business model and a clever analogy to help and support businesses to actually not just give back, but also enjoy the fruits of the team actually delivering amazing results, and that's the key.
yeah, yeah.
So I always ask our showcase Sunday people who come on it, interviewees, what are your five top tips that you can offer right now to anybody who's listening?
I think the first one is make sure you're healthy, be safe, look after yourself. We've all crawled out of bed and gone to work, which as an operator you appreciate, but do look after yourself. I think that's the way. That's probably because I'm getting older, but that's probably the one. And make sure the people around you are good people. I've learned that over the years. If you've got good people around you, it does have an impact. I'm a great believer people leave people when it comes to jobs. Doesn't matter what. We're not just talking hospitality. people actually leave the people around them. They don't leave the building, the infrastructure, the service, the product. It's the person that's next to them or the person above them that they end up leaving. So if you put good people around you, not always possible. We always work with someone we think if you weren't here, this would be great. But my view is, and that's in the personal life as well. Have time to do something you like.
Yeah.
We're the people in hospitality. People will say they're a breed of their own. Their mates are chefs, their mates are waiters, their mates are housekeepers, their mates are the industry. And when you work in the hours that we've done, they are your mates because it's the only people you meet. But as you get older, you sort of get get to do things you like with people who are probably away from the industry, but they always quiz you about food. Everyone's got a question about food, haven't they? Or where's the best place to dine? Um, and sort of make friends with your local college. Um, from experience of several colleges in the Northwest and the work I've done recently, um, businesses are very quick to criticize colleges. And I have to say, in some cases, businesses are right to criticize colleges because the
Mm.
colleges are not giving the right support to the business. And it's not hard to communicate to businesses. I'd suggest make friends with colleges. Hospitality is usually good at it because the staff have come from industry and they've got mates. As I've said earlier, your mates are the mates from industry. But all industries should make friends with the local college and go and find out. When I was at Kendal College, people used to phone up saying, can you get us a breakfast chef? Can you do this? And I'd say, come and see us. Come and see us. We'll show you around. You can meet the students. And I could probably count on one hand the businesses
Yeah.
that did. Those businesses that did, we had great relationships with, and they supported them. They supported us. We supported them. So yeah, make friends with your local college. I think that's important. I'm passionate about the training side. So, and then I think linked to this whole conversation, take a good look at your voucher system if you've got one. If you haven't got one, please reach out to us, and we're more than happy to talk to you. If you have got one, do some sums and see how much it's actually costing you, um, and how much could be sat in someone else's bank account with money that your guests have paid to come and dine at your venue, use your spa facilities, sit in your bar. Because these vouchers can be for whatever you decide. You can set them as a monetary voucher, you can set them as 20 quid to use at the bar, you can set them for 30 quid for a ticket at your venue, spa
Mm.
treatment. They can be anything. So yeah, have a good look at your voucher system and ask yourself, are you getting value for money?
And actually ask yourself, where does the data sit? There's a lot of systems out there where your data is not your own, and that's quite frightening, I always think, because you're missing marketing opportunities and being able to communicate with your guests and your potential guests and your future guests. So when the vouchers coming to an end, as you were saying earlier about these some companies who have the money sat in their businesses and not in the actual hospitality business, that it then, it's null and void after a certain period of time. But you've got an opportunity to turn that money into, get the guests to spend the money, but actually potentially to have a long-term guest out of that.
Yeah,
And that gets missed on too many occasions. The marketing opportunity is huge because you might have a guest who loves you, and that's why they bought the voucher for the family member or the friend or whoever. But that is your potential next guest coming through the door who potentially could use your business as much as the person who's bought the voucher.
yeah, and that's a great conversation because just this
Mm.
week, one of the people who were testing the voucher system for us asked for two additional things added to the system. One was a voucher that was comp,
Yeah.
so a comp monetary value. So, worst case scenario, a guest has complained, and you rather than reimburse them or you're giving them vouchers, um, their view is they might not come back, but at least you've hopefully gone a way of resolving the issue.
Mm.
And the other thing they've asked for is once the voucher is redeemed, to send out a bounce back offer
Mm.
to say they'll get
Absolutely.
they'll get a glass on wine, I think it'll arrival, or they'll get X amount off the bill if it's used in a period of time. But that's
Yeah.
all automated as well. So there's not someone actually sticking vouchers in an envelope and posting them out to a guest or having to reply by email. It's all part of the automation.
That's the thing, isn't it? Because yours is all online, so it's a quick win. So not being derogatory or anything, but those blokes out there who's thinking about Christmas Eve,
Yeah,
buying the presents, for Christmas Day, it's right up your street. Just saying,
yeah.
that you can go online because I'm guessing you've got a page. I know you have got a page with all the people on it. I'm saying I'm guessing, but I wanted to share that actually, Mike, that you've got on your visionary vouchers people who are already using your vouchers on there, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a few on there. There's more to come. Um, we've got a few businesses testing it free of charge, and that we're learning as they learn. And their challenges, they're coming back to us and saying, "Can you tweak that? Can you add that? Can you amend this?" So that's great. And I go back to this embryonic forming of a business. So we want to make sure it's right for the users, the customer, and the operator before
Mm.
we unleash it and sort of take on the
Yeah.
masses.
So getting quick and be an early adopter, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. So have you got any examples how you can help the industry save time? Obviously, the voucher system is key. And how you add value to your clients and how you're adding value to your early adopters right now, because they're obviously getting great testing, but they're also getting things implemented immediately, what they're asking for.
Yeah, I think the added value bit we've sort of we've
Mm.
hopefully covered. The early adopters, yes, we've got this 1 month rolling contract, which we will convert probably to a 6 or 12 month once we get established, because we feel that's the right thing to do, tie people in for the obvious reasons. Especially when that part of that revenue is supporting the foundation as well. We want to make sure we can budget effectively, um, as I'm sure all your listeners appreciate that that's key. And we've come across some organisations where people are buying vouchers, and there is literally someone then reading. People are emailing the venue, "Can we buy a voucher for £100?" And someone's phoning them up, taking the payment over the phone, sending the voucher out by email, or in some cases putting in the post. So just converting that labour into this automation is surely going to save.
That is so important. It's so important to save that time, money, and energy that they should be looking after the guests with, rather than dealing with putting pieces of paper or card, which is not okay anymore,
Yeah.
into an envelope and sending off, or in a box and sending off. And but having it all automated is so important nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, if a venue wants to continue with that style of that voucher style, we can. That's a conversation we can have, and we can build that in, or they can do as they please with how they print and distribute their vouchers. But the
Mm.
part of this system is to help venues with time and labour cost.
Yeah, yeah. So, if someone was sitting on the fence right now, why would they be? Thinking about working with you, what would or what would your your early adopters right now say about you as a company, but also about how the system works and how beneficial it's been to them?
That's a great question. Okay,
Mm.
because we're new. It's difficult to get a review from the masses, but the people we've been working with in the development stage have been very positive. No one's left us. No one's had any angry phone calls. I'd like to think if anyone contacts us that we are reactive, professional. We are from our amazing industry of hospitality, so that's a must. And I think it reach out to us, talk to us. Do your own internal homework and look at your voucher system. And if you feel we can add value or we can change or support, please reach out. And we aim to, we will be reactive. We want to be fair, and we want to be solution focused as well. So I go
Mm.
back to the business that said, can you create a comp voucher and can you do the bounce back? And it was done. It was done within the day. Yeah, just one thing I'd like to add as well, going back to some of the things you said earlier about the industry, and we've actually presented this to UK hospitality, and they want to meet us.
Brilliant.
So, organizations like that listening, I think and it's this foundation that's vouchers, thank you. Oh, a foundation, and you're going to try and so it's it's not only just a voucher system. I can't stress that enough. It's going to hopefully help the industry and provide training and retention. So we were well chuffed to receive that come and meet us email from Kate Nichols and the team. It was yeah, a big tick.
Brilliant. Well done. Well done.
So that's in the
Fantastic.
coming weeks. So hopefully they will, and hopefully they're going to then, well, who knows what we'd like is them to circulate the concept.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And a great experience to share with them so that they can pass it on to the members, but also showcase it all around the media channels. So it'll help and support lots of businesses. Be ready to scale at that point.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, that would be a nice problem, wouldn't it?
I love that being a nice problem. Good scaling. So, how
Yeah.
do people get in touch with you, Mike? Because this is really important. Obviously, we'll put the links at the end of the Showcase Sunday, but
Yeah.
what's the best way of getting in touch with you?
You can email me, mike@visionaryvouchers.com. But feel free to call me. My number 07801 488 477. I'm going to say that again because people writing it down may just be grabbing a pen. So it's 07801 488 477. Yeah, give us a call. The website is visionaryvouchers.com. Have a look. And please get in touch. And if you can't get hold of me, drop me an email and I will certainly be reactive and get back to you one way or another.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. Have you got anything to add, Mike? Have you got anything that you've not shared yet?
We've got a few we've sort of become like this little embryonic tech company, but because of the way Gordon's wired and his brain works and the way Mark works, we've got a few other tech things that we think could be beneficial from the industry. One of them, which is being able to take reservations without people answering the phone, which I'll leave that there because
Yeah,
it's
you'll have to come
uh,
back on a Showcase Sunday and share that exciting
yeah.
new news that's potentially coming very, very soon.
Yeah, and it will also chase those people who've not paid the bills as well. So that's good.
Wow. How many accounts departments are listening to this now thinking,
Yeah.
get that Showcase Sunday on. Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining me, Mike, and it's been great to hear about your visionary vouchers again. And if you're thinking about it out there right now, certainly get in touch with Mike and the team at Visionary Vouchers to see how you can progress, helping your business with your cash flow, helping to save time, energy, and money, and actually make a positive difference in our industry by helping a foundation to train and develop your team. So thank you for joining me, Mike, and hopefully see you soon with your next business
Yeah.
that's coming very, very soon.
Thank you, Alison, and thank you for inviting me on. Enjoy this
Pleasure.
Sunday.
Thank you. You too.